content creators, which first of all, I hate that term. Can I just say, I know that's like the title of our podcast. I hate the term content creators. I feel like I literally just woke up, Brian. I kind of
What?
did.
I was gonna say, did you actually just wake up?
Kind of. Yeah. I feel like, well, what I meant to say is I feel like I look like I kind of just woke up because I did kind of just wake up. Um, I just got back from good old Tampa Bay last night. I got
Ooh,
in really late, like
Floridia.
9:30. Yeah,
You just got
Floridia.
in. You got in 9:30 last night, you said?
Yeah.
That's a late time because then by the time you get home, it's probably not like usually whenever you leave an airport, I feel like it takes a moment. So you're like an hour,
Yeah.
another hour and a half before you're actually home.
Yeah, and I have like a very strict routine and a post-airport routine. I have
Mhm.
to definitely take a shower, obviously, and then I always have to eat something, even if I'm not hungry. I don't know why, just
Yeah.
flying, I have to like eat something. So by the time I get to bed, it's like 12:30.
I started honestly with when it comes to flying, I started splurging a little bit and I
Mhm.
buy the snack box.
Hmm.
Like the one that has like hummus or anything in it because I think when it comes to flying, I think that's the time where everyone forgets to eat because you're like rush,
Yeah.
rush, rush at the airport. You don't feel like spending like $30 on a
Yeah.
actual, dinner in the airport. And then you get home and you realize you're like, wow, I didn't actually have anything to except some ginger ale from the
Right.
stewardess.
I know. But I bring that up because you have some big travel coming up, right? Do you want to tell the
Yes,
people?
me and every other content creator that I follow, any other big one, is going to Japan.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm so excited. But yeah, it's so funny because some of the big creators that I follow are currently there or like just getting back and they are sharing like things I bought in Japan or, more like generic videos like that. But I've been avoiding them because I don't know, I don't want to ruin all the surprise. I just want it to be my experience, there and see what I think of creatively versus trying to get too much from other people. Because that's why I like
Yeah.
traveling, honestly. I think do you find it like it sparks creativity for you?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
I love it. I love especially like somewhere that's so densely populated like that.
Hmm.
Like New York City. I've got a lot going on in New York this summer actually. I'll be there a few times and going
We might be
places
meeting
like
up in New
that.
York City.
Yeah, I hope so. I got to talk to you about that. But yeah, like New York City like always makes me feel like I can do anything.
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah.
one place on earth. I'd imagine
You
Tokyo
know,
is going to be very similar.
for people who can't afford New York City a trip, I would say watching Devil Wears Prada, which is takes place in New York City, makes me
Yeah.
feel that drive,
Yeah,
to go after something that I want. But yeah, I feel
totally.
like traveling, especially like for me, because my content kind of relies heavily on knowing the differences between Michiganders or Midwesterners in the outside world. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I get countless videos to be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is we do this super different than everybody else. That's so funny to me. Um,
Yep.
so then I would just go ahead and share it. But yeah, I'm going there for 2 weeks, so it's gonna be a long stretch of I don't it's like I've never been there and I don't know a lot of people that have been either, and no one
Yeah.
can really fully explain to you what to expect. So I don't know. I feel like it's just like the big city is probably going to feel like a similar big city, but obviously
Yeah.
everything's going to be in Japanese and culturally
Yep.
a bit different. But
It's
yeah,
going to be
it's
so fun.
uncharted waters, so I'm excited for
I'm
it.
excited for you. How are you preparing the business side of things for taking
Ooh,
2 weeks off?
good question. So the consulting side, I have let everyone know that I am going to be working. I'm going to probably be
Mhm.
checking on campaigns, like I typically would, just to make sure everything's good. But I've let them know, I'm not going to be doing meetings because I'm going to be on a very different uh, time zone to where
Yeah.
I could probably, no, you know what? I'm not going to say you probably can't make it work because I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure when it's, typical working time here, it's like the middle of the night there or
Right.
something along those lines. It's a 12, 13 hour difference, I think. So yeah, I think it's, it's gonna be the longest one I've ever done. I have done like a 8 or 9-day one, and I remember I
Okay.
ended up working, like an hou maybe like a half hour to hour every day just to check up on things because although flexibility going into this trip, I didn't need to ask for permission to go travel anywhere.
Yep.
The setback of being an entrepreneur, content creator, working for yourself, as I'm sure you're familiar with, is you can't really hand it off to someone. You can't hand off everything to somebody else. I mean, if I had someone below me, I could hand off some tasks, but
Yeah.
there's going to be a brand deal email that might come through while I'm out, and
Mhm.
the brand deal's not for anything until July, but I need to maybe respond now because a lot of times, do you get this a lot where they'll say like, "Hey, we need to know within like 2 days because we're sending
Yeah.
to the clients."
Yeah, they're like, "Please reply within 72 hours," or if that, and
Right.
I'm like, "Okay, cool. I guess I'll drop everything," and
Right. You're like, you're eating
I
your
wanna know the
Latasha
back end.
apple. You're like working. You're like, fine. I guess I'll just drop everything.
Yeah, I just wanna know how the back end of that works, like, how do they just I mean, I guess their budgets just get approved or they just get through selections of
Yeah, I feel like
people,
it's
I
a
don't know.
budget approval thing. Sometimes too,
Yeah.
like I'll be honest, I'm probably added like last. Like someone
Yeah,
maybe said no
yep,
and they
you're
said,
like an alternate.
crap. Yeah, like I was first alternate,
Yeah,
maybe as something came in and they said, oh, we gotta get him.
yeah,
But yeah, I think like things happen in the ad agency world so quickly. Like clients will typically say like, "Hey, we want that actually sooner than later," and then the
mhm,
agency has to freak out for 2 days to
yep,
figure it out. But yeah, I think that overall I've prepped in the past, I don't know like how you kind of set yourself up with trips or anything like that, but in the past I definitely thought I could handle more, and then you realize when you're on the trip that you just don't have that like I can't do a meeting.
yeah,
I'm not in a meeting mode. I'm not I'm not in the mode to like talk and strategy and sit. I can
totally.
email, after thinking about it for a bit. But you're in vacation mode and this is like a once
Yeah,
in a lifetime thing that a lot of people don't even get to do once. So you
yeah,
always need to kind of talk to yourself in that way of like, what do you really want? I think that's what I was always scared of initially, but now I'm like, hey, I'm going to be gone 2 weeks, different time zone.
yeah,
Here's the expectations. I won't let anything crumble and I'm
yeah,
here for emergencies. But
yep, yeah, I think it's
I
so
say go on a cruise control is what I say.
yes,
So,
I love that. Yeah, it's so important to actually unplug because to your point, it's like you might never go to Japan again, or if you do,
right,
it's probably gonna be a long time from now, so another brand deal is going to come through, like,
right,
sooner than another Japan trip is going to come through, so,
true.
prioritize
That's a
what
good way to word it.
matters. Yeah, but I'm
Were you
excited for
always
you.
like
That's
that, like calmness though on vacations?
No, oh my gosh, no. I still don't know that I am. I mean, I think I am, like, the last few vacations that I've taken, I have really just I'm a big out of office person, number 1. Like, do
I
you
do
use your
notice that because
email out of
sometimes I've
office?
emailed you and you're just like,
Yeah,
"Hey, I'm on vacation."
yeah. And a trick about the out of office or the autoresponder on Gmail, I put it on, like, 2 days before I actually leave, and I leave it
Oh, that's a
on,
good idea.
like, 2 days after I get back, because if let's say a brand is starting that initial outreach, "Hey, can we get your rates?" That kinda conversation,
Mhm.
and they automatically get your out of office. Well, they're, like, on alert now, like,
Yeah,
and if they have anything, any timelines or anything they need to really communicate to you, they're gonna do that right away and be like, "Oh my gosh, like, let me get as much information in while we have him replying to us."
right.
And obviously for clients, just to give them kind of like a heads up and start to like wind down work because that's what has stressed me out is if I'm doing client work like on a plane, like, "Oh, gotta submit this
Mhm.
thing
Right.
before I land." That is so annoying. I wanna have that all done
Mm-mm.
a couple
That's
days before.
Yeah, the flying while do you work while you're flying? Like, outside of video editing?
Um, so it's funny you say this. I just I'm posting a vlog today and I've kind of vlogged this trip to Florida and I was sharing for
Yeah.
short trips like that that are more it's not like a vacation. Like I'm going to
Mhm.
visit somebody and hang out, and that's kind of like second home somewhat. So it's not like I need to be fully unplugged. I love Spirit. I know everybody hates Spirit Air. Um, I love it because they have this like they don't really have first class, but they have the Go Big seats, which is like their version of first class.
Yeah.
It's way cheaper than any other first class or business class on, Delta or any other airline, and you get free Wi-Fi with it and all kinds of things.
Oh,
So
that's
I
nice.
always or usually will buy that and then I'll work the whole way. And I tell myself, like, if I'm buying the big seat, I have to work for the whole 2.5 hour flight to Tampa. And it's like the perfect time block, actually, like two and a
Yeah,
half hours to get one big task done.
right.
So yeah, I always say like I usually make money in the air. Like I usually send an email that gets
Yeah.
me like the cost of my flight back or something like that. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
on
tend
like
to as
vacation, I don't know.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, like, different almost like second like you said, like second home kind of energy of, just kinda
Mhm.
going to hang out, I feel like could be different than vacay, but I like what you said about the working for I feel like my brain works in that mentality, especially as an hourly worker on the consulting side. Um,
Yeah.
I think very much about, "Hey, I spent this amount today, but I made this amount." Like,
Yep.
I'm constantly trying to give the reason, I guess. So,
Yeah.
and for flying, I mean, technically you could book those upgrades like you said and just say, "Hey, I'm going to treat myself," and
Yeah.
that's kind of the joy of being an hourly worker or just like a worker that can make as much as you want.
Yep.
You have the certain setup to work as much as you want and make kind of as much as you want to in that
Yeah.
respect. What's funny is I think about that too with like fitness and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm ever, like, eating bad at a restaurant, maybe this is me being too anal about it or too, like, much of a
Oh
Virgo
yeah.
type A. If I
Yeah.
eat bad, I'm like, "Well, I worked out today," or like, "Hey, I'll work out
Mhm.
tomorrow." You know, I don't gotta worry as much about, um,
Totally.
all of that.
Totally.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna have 13 hours on the plane, so
Oh
I
man.
think I'm gonna spend that watching movies and also, though, in terms of content creation, going through and deleting things I don't need off my phone
Oh,
because
I love that.
storage. Even though I have 2
Yes.
terabytes, I'm like, I wanna keep it clean.
Yeah. Yeah, I love doing that on the plane for sure. That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see the content that comes out and get
Me
an
too.
update. And okay, we should also share a little update on Content Creator Confessions. What is your
Yes.
trip and the potential sabbatical that I'm going to take mean for Content Creator Confessions? We were just talking about this before we press
Mhm.
record. Um but
And we said, "Why
I
not just
think
share with everybody?"
yeah, yeah, let's have a team conversation here.
Right.
I think we're gonna have, like, for sure through April, we're gonna post. Um, and then, yeah, we'll probably do another in person. Let us know in the comments if you liked the in-person episodes.
Yeah.
I
I
did.
feel like I personally liked I feel like it was nice because one, we're kinda showing, like, out and aboutness of being a content creator, like, we're in your studio that you
Mhm.
produced. It has creative energy, I guess, in it, and on top of that, I get to just hang out with you for the afternoon, just nice and talk. But yeah,
Yes.
let us know if you like that one in particular, because one idea that I had was that because in the summertime, I feel like some people do go on autopilot a little bit, that we would maybe just post like maybe once a month, but we do these kind of like more studio session type deals that feel a bit more produced in the sense of like we have the backdrop, we
Yeah.
have the editing's a little bit different and all this other stuff. So kind of putting a lot more energy into those specific episodes, and then come September, getting back into it when
Yeah.
people are kind of thinking more about goals. And I just feel like that's usually the timeline. At least maybe that's just Michigan
Yeah.
specifically, or in the Midwest,
No,
where
I think
you
so.
know Midwest summer is kind of the creme de la creme time of year that you don't want to miss being outside. And maybe that's the
Yeah.
time to kind of refill our creative juices too for ourselves, so we
Yeah.
can come back even better for everybody with
For
ideas and
sure.
nuances and things like that. What are your thoughts?
Totally. Yeah, I'm definitely open to that because I I'm struggling. I've been struggling this whole year. I'm gonna
Mhm.
be honest, like, really last year too. I just have been in, like, a weird headspace work-wise. I always love creating content. Like, that is,
I know.
as Ryan likes to say, born to create, okay?
Mhm.
That's all I wanna
Created to
do.
create.
Created to create, whatever. Well, I do born to create.
I
Um,
like it.
yeah. That's my version. But yeah, like I'm never not gonna create, as long as my eyeballs and fingers work, I'm always gonna be creating something. But like when it comes to the author side of what I want to actually sell to make money, because as we've talked about many times throughout this podcast, like Ryan and I kind of have different business models, and that you're
Mhm.
mostly sponsorship driven for your content side. I'm mostly online courses and paid offers. And I've just really been struggling. And then now that like the economy is potentially like imploding and people are like, I don't want to spend money, I'm like really struggling. I'm like, what do I offer people that feels good
Mhm.
in this world that we're living in? And it's just really overwhelming for me. So I was thinking about it and it's like, maybe I should just, maybe I should just kind of take a sabbatical, like take like a little break, take some of the pressure off of having to aggressively sell. Uh, you know, obviously, I'm still gonna be making money through sponsorships and whatever else, affiliate
Mm.
work and things like that, but maybe I just take, like, the summer off of aggressively selling and, hear me out, try to be a YouTuber. Like,
Yeah,
what
like,
if what
re-find your
if?
love kind of in a way.
Yeah, and, like, what if I just posted more YouTube videos and tried to see if I could flip the revenue streams a little bit into
Mhm.
upping my ad revenue again, maybe getting more sponsors as opposed to solely relying on sales, product sales. I don't know if it'd
Yeah.
work, but I feel like I have a better shot than just somebody starting from brand new, you know?
I would definitely say so.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, that's the joy of creating the foundation that you made, I think, is that it's this investment
Mhm.
that you can kind of move around, adjust, just like actual investments and stuff too. I
Yeah.
honestly, I think that I feel like that could be so amazing just because it's specifically, which I don't think people think about as much, when you tie things to money, it it doesn't ruin it per
Yeah.
se. I don't want to
It
say
changes
it
it.
just it changes it. Yes, thank you.
Mhm.
And
Definitely.
I feel like even now, kind of similarly, like with my content, it's I'm always having to really stick to this like certain regimen because I don't want to be feeling like I'm just doing it to make money, even though
Yeah.
now it is becoming a larger part of my income, really.
Yeah.
So no, I feel you in saying you just kind of want to go back to like being like a YouTuber, getting the ad
Mhm.
revenue,
Mhm.
sharing your life because you love making videos and going back to it. So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. I think it's important to lean into what you actually like to do, and I know that sounds like the most generic advice ever, and it also sounds kind of like idealistic and head in the clouds, like it's not super strategic, but I do feel like I've hit a point of, burnout, of
Yeah.
having to be this, as I always say, the Latasha robot, like,
Yeah. Hey,
living up to what
hello.
people want me to do, and it's like, what do I have? Like, I love
Yeah.
this. This feels like it's for me and for us, like, because it's fun and, like, you know, it's different and I'm just talking about
Mhm.
things that I'm genuinely passionate about, but, yeah. So, I also have I was just looking over my schedule while I was in Florida, and I'm thinking I'm not gonna be home this summer, like, at all.
Like, at all.
Like, seriously, it's nuts. So, I think
Would you say, like, more so vacations, or I know you have, like, not seminars, but,
yeah, talks and stuff. Yeah,
talks,
a
things like that.
a little bit of both. So, like, I'm shooting a documentary, number one. We have our first shoot in Austin, Texas coming up. I won't say the exact date just for like whatever, but like very soon. So that's happening. And then we're going to be traveling to a few other locations, which we don't have booked yet. But so that we want to have all of our shooting done by the fall so we can
Mhm.
go into post production in the fall. So I'll be doing that. Um, I am going to Europe. I'm going on a British Isles cruise with my friend.
Ooh.
And I potentially am gonna be staying longer, we'll see.
Ooh,
Um,
that'd be fun.
yeah, we'll see. But so there's that, and then I've got 2 New York trips. So I'm gonna be speaking at the Build Expo, which anybody
Mhm.
listening should definitely come. It's free to sign up, and
Oh,
Ryan
that's
might
nice.
come. I think you should. No pressure. We're pressuring him on the spot, but I think it'll be fun.
Like I
It's
said, I
like
love a New York trip. I love
yeah.
a big city creative vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a cool expo. It's like all film and video. So like
Mhm.
microphone brands, camera brands. So if you're into podcasting or YouTube or anything like that, it'll be a good one for you to attend. So I'm speaking there. And then another weekend, I'm going to be in New York because one of my coaching clients, she's in Luxembourg in Europe. She's going to be in the States. And so I'm like, okay, well, I can hop on an
Oh,
hour flight to come. Like, it's
yeah.
probably the only time we'll ever see each other. So
Um,
that'll be fun. So we're just gonna do a weekend. So yeah, like, and then for those, I've been like kind of cryptic about it, just because it's a little messy. But like, I'm seeing seeing somebody long distance in Florida, so we kind of alternate back and forth of who's traveling. So
Yeah,
like, when all's said and done, and then my mom, she's 2 hours away, so I got to see her a couple times this summer.
yeah,
When all's said and done, I'm gonna be home like 2 weekends this summer.
right. I think that's good though I actually thought about that. I'm starting to be that way just with my time in general, to where I'm not like you and I both have like things. I think as entrepreneurs, content creators, you constantly feel like you have this like baseline of things that are never done, right?
Yeah,
Versus like a 9 to 5 where, even like certain situations, certain industries, when you clock out, you cannot do anymore. It's not a work
yeah,
from home moment. And even then, you have bosses, you have supervisors that,
yeah,
could always be the person to blame if let's say you didn't get to an email at seven
yeah,
o'clock or 6 o'clock,
yep,
versus you have to really force yourself to set aside time. And honestly, it's really nice to hear that you are not trying to overdo it, knowing that you already have all this stuff, because if you
hmm
already have a million things going on, that's only if nothing changes from here till then. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
there's going to be so much you might get a brand deal three
yeah.
days that
Right.
requires you to make three different videos.
Yep. I
um
know.
and you need to do 100 email chain like we just talked about in a previous podcast to get it
Yes.
rocking.
Yeah,
um
for sure.
yeah, I think that's good. I think summertime, maybe, that's us. I think it almost feels, I don't know about you, but it almost feels a little bit of wrong, but I think that's
Yeah.
honestly just because of the American, way of
Yeah.
working,
Hustle culture.
a
Yeah.
hustle culture of it all, because in my head it seems like the right choice. But then
Mhm.
in my
I know.
hustling little heart, it's like, what are you doing? This is
I know.
America. Like
I
hustle,
know.
hustle, make.
It's like that American scarcity mindset. I know. Yeah, because
Yes, maybe that's it.
in Europe, they like shut down,
They do,
even
I they do not work that much. They
yeah,
maybe
till
chime in
like
a little bit,
August.
but the
Yeah.
expectation is that nothing will probably, not nothing, but
Yep.
just everything's going to be slower,
Yeah.
and an approval will take weeks,
Yeah.
or something like that.
I know.
So,
Yeah, and I historically, like, even at my best years, even at years when I was doing crazy numbers in my business, summer was slow and I would have this like meltdown. Like I'd be like,
mhm,
"Oh my gosh, my business is crumbling." Like no,
right.
I would post a YouTube video and it'd get like 100 views in the first day. I'm like, "What is going on? Where is
Right.
everybody? My nobody likes me anymore." Um and yeah, it would not be good for my mental health, honestly, to put myself through that. Or like definitely when I'm selling things, I'm like, "Why is this launch not going well?" And it's just it can easily be explained. Like people
Yeah.
are a lot of my audience, they're around my age, and a lot of people our age, have kids now. They're hanging out with their kids, you know? They're hanging out with
Being
their
outside,
families,
going to
they're
parks.
traveling. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So, I think from that perspective, it might be good to take a little bit of the pressure off, at least for, like, revenue. But also, I'm doing a lot of fun things, and I wanna vlog those things. I all of those things that I just mentioned, like,
Yeah.
I wanna record those. Like, that's the type of content I am excited about and want to create right now, and that's how my YouTube channel really started, is I always say it was just like a reflection of my life at the time.
Mhm.
And, no, it's not like a 5 tips to crush it on Instagram. But I hope people still find value from it, like, especially the business
Yes.
related, going to events and conferences and stuff like that, so or they won't, and,
I
we'll
mean,
see.
based on the comments, people just like us sharing, our side of
Mhm.
things, and I feel like a lot of the people just relate to it, and I'm
Yeah.
sure the one thing that you said that kind of made me think of something that I think some people thought about, but maybe wasn't put into words is, like, if you let's say you're anyone's favorite creator,
Mhm.
they cannot make the content they do if you don't let them, like, be out in the world, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's like, you're not going to get the amazing creator that goes through India and shows you the entire uh, week long road trip they did. If you don't
Yeah.
let them, they wouldn't be able to get to that if they were working on editing the whole
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and that you might not get that for a month later, but then when you
Mhm.
get it, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I think like
I
we can think about it in that mindset too a little bit.
And also, and I feel like we need to do a more in-depth video on the topic of, like, niching and, like, changing
Mhm.
niches, but similarly, I think you have to let your favorite creators make the art or make the content that they want to. I
Right.
think we've talked about that a little bit with, like, musicians and stuff. It's like there's some
Yeah.
albums that aren't my favorite by my favorite artist, but, like, I respect it, and I respect that he had to put that out to, like, get that
Right.
out so that he could make the songs that I like, you know?
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just feel like content creators, which first of all, I hate that term. Can I just say, I know that's like the title of our podcast. I hate the term content creators because I feel like it is so commodified what we're actually doing. Like, you're
Yes, I
making
can see what you
videos.
mean.
I'm making
Yeah.
videos. We are producing audio. We are, taking photos. We're
Yeah.
writing books, writing whatever. Like, but it's like, oh, it's all just content. So it's like way
Yeah,
less
yeah.
serious than any of those other things I just mentioned. But yeah, I feel like for some reason content creators aren't really given that grace to like, okay, my most hated comment ever is
Mhm.
nobody asked for this. I don't know if you've ever
Like,
gotten anything
I've
like
never
that?
gotten that. Mm-mm.
Like, I'll see a YouTuber try something new. Let's just say
Yeah.
they're a beauty creator and they want to try a like what I ate in a day video. They want to try
Yeah.
test out doing some food content. And people will comment like nobody asked for this,
That's so
Anna or
rude.
whoever.
That's
Yeah, no
wild.
duh. Like she's a creator. She is creating what she wants to create. Like
Yeah.
nobody has to ask for it. And
No.
I feel like I get that. Like if
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, I'm going on a birthday trip." I won't say where.
Yeah.
It's very, very Florida, let's just say. People are gonna give me the nobody asked for this vlog. I know it,
Right.
and I don't care. I wanna post it anyway for
I feel
me.
like that's so YouTube too, specifically. I feel like I
Mm,
mean, I think hate is probably everywhere, and again, we've talked about if you guys wanna listen to other podcasts, we talked about our differences in, like, comments and, like, hate online and stuff,
yeah,
but I do think specifically, like, YouTube, especially because I don't know, I just feel like it's, like, these young kids that maybe I don't know if it's not even a youth issue. I think it's just
mhm,
YouTube people because their comments can be like paragraphs, you know what I mean? And like
yeah,
it's almost like they're empowered to comment so hard. Not like other ones don't.
yeah,
I just feel like it's like YouTube content is still in that way. Like, is it educational? Is it entertainment? Kind of like there's a mix
Yeah.
there that people feel just empowered to comment more um,
Yeah.
boldly,
I
we'll say.
I think also this is something that I do really like about TikTok, I will say.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
maybe you wouldn't say the same thing because you are very niched in on TikTok,
Mhm.
but, like, a lot of just, like, the normal people I follow on TikTok, like, maybe creators
Yeah.
that are more lifestyle or have, just, like, people, just have, like, smaller followings. I feel
Yeah.
like they just post anything. It's like, "Oh, here's this snack that I got. Oh, here's this concert I went
Right.
to. Here's my outfit." Like, it's a little more diverse in, like,
Yeah.
the what you are allowed to post there, I guess.
Right.
Whereas I feel like YouTube, if you subscribe to a channel, you expect
The
one
same.
thing. You're like,
Yeah.
I want Latasha's podcast, like her solo
Right.
Black Wall podcast. Why is she eating snacks or going to Europe? Like, what?
Yeah, because I think though I think that's more so even like the educational aspect of it too. Because yeah, but I
Mhm.
will agree that TikTok, which I really do see though that YouTube is still in that like education talk
Yeah.
show, which I almost consider education of entertainment. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Mhm.
Because I watch a lot of like talk show related things there. And that could be like not even a talk show per se, but just two people kind of like an interview kind of style thing, which I'm learning again, like,
Yeah.
or I'm like, I feel like it's that education space versus Instagram, TikTok now are truly TV replacements to where it's like a swipe on TikTok is almost just like changing the channel. To be like, ooh,
Ooh.
this kind of bores me. I'm gonna try something else. Oh my gosh, a bulldog skateboarding with some guy. That's hilarious. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna follow that just because why not? You know what I mean? It's like it's TikTok
Yeah.
versus like for some reason, based on YouTube's upbringing, when I hit subscribe, I feel like I'm starting
Yeah.
a relationship, to be honest, on
Yeah.
YouTube. Versus like Instagram, there's some like cute guy that dresses well. I'm like, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Like, and I think like
That's
on
so
TikTok,
true.
even what you said too is kind of funny. Even though I'm still in my niche, I was in Florida at this like, um, not barracuda, but it's a different type of fish feeding dock,
Okay.
and the things
Yeah.
were huge. And I go to my brother. I'm like, hey, can you record me just saying something really quick? And I was like, hey, we're here in Lake Michigan, like, and that video got like 70,000 views. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was just so
Yeah.
random, but it was about Michigan, but I was able to be random and on the fly. So
Yep.
to your point, you are correct though that I think just the structure of TikTok and Instagram Reels a bit more, although Instagrams you have to be a little bit more formal because again, like an Instagram follow I think means more than for some reason a TikTok follow nowadays.
Mhm.
Um
Yeah. They're all weighted
so
differently.
but yeah, I think YouTube just in like and maybe I do you think in this sabbatical you'll try TikTok more? I think it's sticking around.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I did post I did post, like, 2 clips from our in-person podcast on my
Yeah.
TikTok. You know, they did okay. I mean, I don't know. I just miss to your point, like, I miss
Yeah.
social media where I could just post whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, maybe that sounds selfish because I know everyone's
Mm,
like, "Well, you have to give value," and, like but it's like, I just miss that's not how this started for me. Like,
right.
I wasn't giving anybody value making my really crappy makeup tutorials. I was not. No.
A little
That
I
was
mean,
for
you're talking
me.
about the best mascara, right? Or things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it definitely, like, helped people, but it came from a place of, like, I wanted to do this, I was interested in this, no
Yeah.
one was knocking down my door to get Latasha James's opinion on mascara, like,
Yeah.
there's so many more qualified people to do that, um, and yeah, I feel like social media now is so much more rigid and, like, you've gotta always be, like, delivering the
Yeah.
most for you, you better be
Don't
so
stop.
funny.
Post every day. You better be
Yes,
literally like to
like
me it's crazy that on Instagram like 100 shares isn't good enough on a post for like these days.
mind-blowing.
100 shares
Yeah.
on like one of my videos. Granted, I get like 12,000 views, but I was like, I gave you 100 shares,
Oh
algorithm,
my
and you
god.
don't want to give me more than 12,000 views.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy the expectations are very
Yeah, that is
interesting now.
wild. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I feel like I need to fall back in love with,
Yeah,
you know, the process and what I'm doing while still obviously maintaining like I'm not gonna like just, oh, we're done posting anything helpful.
right. No, it's like an eat,
But
pray, love, but you're still doing the part you love while
yeah,
you go eat, pray, love, and try to find, a little
yeah.
bit more of like your passion, I guess, back. Because I think I constantly have to think about doing that myself, of
Mm,
trying to seek out that passion.
yeah,
For people, uh, how you feel about this or how you feel
yeah,
about yourself, maybe even over the summertime, feel free to like comment and let us know just your thoughts, because I think that'll help
yeah.
us in kind of gauging how to go about the summer. Um,
Yes.
it's a
Ooh,
community effort. So just
definitely.
let us know too.
Something else that we briefly talked about was, um, like interviews and bringing other people on too. Is that
Hmm.
something the people are interested in? I wanna
Yes.
know. Asking because that was kind of like the original idea for this, and then it didn't happen, which is good because it's hard to coordinate those.
Yeah.
But do you want some of those sprinkled in? Would you be interested in hearing from other creators, like their
Yeah.
perspectives on things? And if so, let us know who. Let us know if that's something you want. Um, yeah, so that's something we tossed around too.
Do you have any final words on your like sabbatical, or just finding
You
your
know,
passion or anything?
I hope people will watch my YouTube videos. Oh, watch my YouTube videos, please. No, I'm just
We
kidding.
hope that people will watch our videos. Yeah, I
Yeah,
really do think that it's so easy to be wrapped up in the hustle social media world
yeah,
of it all. I think people, there was actually just, I didn't watch the whole thing, but Jack Scapp, he was like this really big YouTuber back in the day
okay.
when YouTube was similar to when, the love that you found for it.
Yeah,
And now he lives on a farm.
yeah.
And like it's like totally left society. And I didn't get to finish it, so
Goals.
you'll have to go watch it
What's
to
his
like,
name? Jack Scap?
Jack. It was originally Jack's Gap was the original channel, and now
Okay.
because it was like his gap year, which again,
Oh, I see.
similar to
Yep.
sabbatical, that's how he found his passion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is
Yep.
by having this gap year and just doing whatever the heck he wanted.
Yeah.
Um, but
Love that.
yeah, I think it's just people can only go so long seeing things. That's why like I try so hard to make my brand deals not feel like ads. I know like even on YouTube you can talk about it with other things short form. Some people's ads just feel like ads. I always try to do
Yeah.
my best to make them like within the client's means as entertaining as possible, because you don't want to feel like the whole world's just promoting everything. You just want
Yeah.
to. And so I think that there will be a colossal shift, especially towards the end of this year. Not colossal shift, I guess, but just there's going to be a change. People can't,
Yeah.
I don't think, stay on this same bandwagon for too long.
Mm.
Of go go go, with
Yeah.
the way certain platforms and certain content things are going. Something's gonna change it up. I have a feeling. I don't
Mhm.
know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it now because if it does happen, we can reference
Right. Like Ryan was
this
right.
episode.
He knew it.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts on this episode too. If you want to share your feelings in the comments, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I think you can like follow too on like Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
Yeah.
all those other fun stuff. Give us a rating, which helps us get more content creator like searches.
We got one
And
of our
other than
first
that,
Apple reviews that was like
woo!
an actual like one. I want to read it. Can I
Was
read
it
it?
good?
It was like this show sucks. No. Uh they said Hannah
Quote
TN.
unquote.
Awesome listen. Stumble upon this podcast and I'm so glad I did. Latasha and Ryan
Yay.
give great advice. Their conversations are refreshing, and I appreciate how open and helpful they are for other content creators. I'm excited to listen to future episodes. Thank you, Hannah TN.
Hannah, you are my girl today.
Yes.
See, that's good. That's exactly the vibe we were hoping for. So,
Yeah.
confirmation. I like
Thanks.
that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Hannah. Yeah. we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.